The phone rang. A civilian answered. He spoke softly. He chose his words. He believed he was speaking to help. Military headquarters were listening. During World War II, phone lines ran through occupied cities, homes, offices, police stations. They were never neutral. Armies didn't need soldiers inside every building. They needed access to the wires. Calls were intercepted. Voices were logged. Patterns were studied. A name mentioned casually could reveal a location. A pause could suggest fear. Fear suggested movement. Decisions were made far from the voice itself. When phones became unreliable, radios took over. Radios were faster and easier to monitor. Commands were sent through the air. So were mistakes. Intelligence units didn't only listen to messages. They tracked silence. When a unit stopped transmitting, it meant something had changed. Silence meant relocation. Silence meant preparation. An attack was often detected not by what was said, but by what suddenly disappeared. Orders were issued before soldiers were visible. Signals alone were not enough. They needed translation. Maps did that work. Tables were covered with paper. Pins marked positions. Lines predicted movement. Maps didn't show civilians. They didn't show who was still inside. A village became a coordinate. A road became an assumption. Outdated maps sent troops into ambushes. Accurate maps sent bombers overhead. The paper stayed clean. Once information was confirmed, it became orders. Typed, stamped, signed. No faces were attached. Only locations and timelines. Trains were redirected. Units reassigned. Bombing schedules approved. Each step looked administrative, routine, professional. By the time action arrived, no one remembered the original call. Some villages were hit the same night, others days later. No warnings were given. No explanations followed. After the battle moved on, the systems stayed. Wires were repaired. Radios recalibrated. Maps reused. The phone remained on the wall. The radio went silent. The people did not return. No records survived of the voices themselves, only the consequences. World War II was not only decided on battlefields, it was decided in rooms where no one was being shot. Sometimes war is fought with weapons. Sometimes it's fought with signals. Trains did not arrive randomly. During World War II, rail schedules became instruments of control, not transport. Control. Timetables were studied the same way maps were. Departure times. Arrival windows. Delays. A delayed train suggested sabotage. An early one suggested urgency. Entire operations were planned around rail capacity. Troops moved when tracks allowed it. Supplies followed numbers, not need. Civilians were placed on the same schedules. Passenger lists were printed in advance. Names aligned with destinations. No context was required. A train leaving at dawn could carry soldiers, or laborers, or families who did not know they were being moved permanently. Once the doors closed, the schedule mattered more than the people inside. Stations became filters. Guards checked papers quickly, not for stories, for accuracy. An incorrect date delayed passage. A missing stamp denied it. Trains waited for paperwork, not for people. Some platforms emptied without record. Others filled again the next morning. The schedule continued. Identification made the system permanent. ID cards reduced individuals to categories: nationality, occupation, religion. Cards were issued, revised, reissued. They determined where someone could travel, where they could work, where they could stand. A card opened doors, or closed borders, or ended movement entirely. Mistakes were not corrected quickly. Corrections required approval. Approval required time. Time was rarely available. People learned to carry documents carefully, folded, protected from rain, checked constantly. A missing card could mean detention. A wrong classification could mean disappearance. The card spoke louder than the person holding it. Information moved faster than lives. A train reassigned. A list updated. A card invalidated. No announcement followed. Families waited at stations that would never reopen. Names were called that no longer mattered. The system did not pause. After the war passed through, the infrastructure remained. Tracks were repaired. Schedules rewritten. Cards redesigned. The paperwork survived intact. The people attached to it did not. No single decision explains what happened. Only accumulation. A call logged. A signal noted. A map marked. A schedule followed. A card checked. Each step small. Each step official. By the time consequences appeared, they belonged to everyone. And no one. War did not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrived on time.